Hey guys, good morning. Happy Sunday. Have you ever been in discussions with your spouse or with your parent or with a colleague or with a close friend where the argument or discussion seems to be going nowhere? You or your spouse is getting more and more irritated. Let me call it as a spouse for now, or a partner. Maybe a partner is a better word. You and your partner are getting more irritated, or more angry, or more frustrated, or more upset, or more sad, and the more you discuss the more it's happening, and you are doing this again and again, and you just wish things smooth calm down, but they don't. So how do you deal with these tough discussions or arguments? So here are a few ways in which I do it. All the four ways involve you taking a step back and following a particular approach. So approach number one: ask yourself and the partner what is the problem they're trying to address. Do they have clarity on that? So often you're discussing various solutions or something that you or your spouse wants to do or your partner wants to do, but you don't realize that you are trying to solve different problems at the same time, or you're trying to solve completely different problems. So just trying to spell out what is the problem you're trying to address sometimes helps bring clarity and resolution to a discussion. Approach number two: tell the intent why you're trying to solve this, why you're trying to propose this. Why? The intent often involves, I want this particular feeling, or I want to do this thing for someone, I want us to do certain things. It's not anything physical action. Intent is usually a emotion. So tell the intent why you're trying to discuss this, and let the other person also express that if it's not clear. Intent builds trust, and it helps the discussion go to a smoother conclusion. Approach number three: come up with a framework. If it's especially very subjective discussion, if there's no right or wrong, say that, hey, this is the framework and I think we should operate on. Let's just make a decision with this framework. I'll give an example about it soon. The fourth approach is just being aware of your trigger. The trigger is something where a word or a look or a thing of the past immediately makes you feel negative. You call it as a trigger. You can tell the other person, hey, I'm getting triggered, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling frustrated, let's postpone the discussion. The minute someone says postpone, the other person should stop speaking and then postpone it. That itself is a framework of how to have healthy discussions. Anyway, these are the four approaches. Let me give an example. Let's say you and your spouse are having a argument or a fight that you're not keeping your cupboard very clean. Let's say she is helping you with keeping it more tidy, the clothes folded, but you are also doing your best, but she thinks, no, you're not doing a good job. Maybe you're discussing and arguing over it again and again. So in the first approach, you would say, okay, let's agree on, let's see what the problem you're trying to solve. I think the problem you're trying to solve, at least I want to solve, is I want to have peace. I don't want fights. Maybe your spouse might say, I want the cupboard to look clean. The cupboard is not clean, that's the problem. Sorry, I'm confusing intent with problem. The problem I'm trying to solve is I'm not having peace with this discussion, I just want closure. For her, the problem could be the cupboard is dirty. Whenever I open it, it smells. First agree which problem is the one that you both want to reach conclusion on, and then it helps to have a good discussion. Let's talk about the intent. Approach number two: she could say that I intend that the home house looks beautiful whether the cupboards are open or not. That's my intent, and that's important because that makes me sleep well at night. Just understanding very deep why they want to solve it. You could say that my intent is to, sometimes intent and the problem could be very closely related. My intent is to have peace and not get bothered. I have other works to do. I want to have a simple resolution about this cupboard so that we never discuss this again. I just want peace. Let's come to a conclusion. And here probably she can ask, why don't you spend time cleaning it? I said, I do. I intend to make you happy, but no matter how much I do, it seems to be not enough. So that's the second approach. It just builds trust. The third approach is a framework. Maybe you could say that, okay, we're having too many discussions. Here is a framework. All home cleanliness stuff, I will listen to you. Everything around outside work or money or anything that involves we stepping out, you listen to me. Just give me that leeway, and I'll give you this leeway. Let's operate with this framework and move on. If she agrees to it, great. So that's an example of a framework where based on the framework you try to decide what is the right thing to do. The fourth one is immediate relief, which is let's postpone this discussion. We are having it enough. Probably at least let's not talk it for 2 weeks. And for these 2 weeks, it's okay if it's dirty, not the way you wanted, but let's postpone it. I'm just getting annoyed. So these are 4 different ways in which you can. Maybe the example is not a great example, but all the 4 approaches I have tried and they work. And they're also quite helpful even at office when you are having discussions or trying to convince someone to do something. Yeah, thank you.